All right, my aquas, what y'all doing? I know y'all been really quiet. You've been in your head. Think I don't know? I know. I can feel you. Have you decided to make your move yet? Have you decided to take the action and get out of your way? Hello, hello, welcome, welcome everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cindy. I am the modern day spiritual advisor. I use multiple modalities, including tarot, astrology, mediumship, all kinds of stuff to help you on your path. All right, gorgeous ones. Sorry this is so late. Mars is making me really work too. Y'all know my ascending is an aqua. So, I have moved back to San Diego. Texas was way too hot for me. I couldn't do it. And then I got sick while I got here. So, I had a cold, lost my voice, had fever, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, I'm just getting my voice back. I'm trying to get these videos out before the eclipses, before all this stuff is happening. So this week is going to be a really, really big week for a lot of people. You guys especially. So let's talk about, I'm going to do July and August, and I'm only doing the astrology part here. I will do a separate video for the tarot part because this video can be so long, because we're going to go all the way through August. Okay, and then with the tarot, I'm going to give you a full Celtic spread. We're going to go old school. And that's in preparation to the next month, where I'm only going to do that on my website for download. Okay, so, pardon me if I have to cough or drink something. I know I have to cough now, sorry. Okay, so, Jupiter, my beautiful ones, has gone direct. So Jupiter's been in your 10th house. So what's this 10th house about? The 10th house, rules your career, your reputation, your social status, your life purpose. It's about finding yourself. It's the 10th house can be about how you relate to your boss. It can be about you owning your own business, accolades, things like that, right? So Jupiter had been retrograde for a while. So you'd been amending, fixing, reworking, adjusting, trying to figure it out, trying to figure out what am I going to do, what am I going to do, what am I going to do. I tried this, it's not working. I tried that, I'm trying to work harder, right? And that's why I'd said about 3 months ago, I had said, you guys need to stay out of your head and you need to exercise. You need to move that energy, stay out of your head, because you can get really in your head and you'll get yourself stuck because you'll hold all that energy because you just think you know better. Anyway, so now that it's gone direct and Jupiter's in there, this is a time, because now that Jupiter is expanding, it's continuing to expand, and all these things that you work through, this is a time for great success, generosity. You can have publications, speaking engagements, leadership opportunities. All these opportunities should be coming to you, right? In the next several months. It's going to be one after the other, after the other, after the other, if you stay out of your head, if you have made some movement, if you have, even if the movement is to go for a walk, even if the movement, if you do something every day and you change it up, change one or two things, change one thing, that's changing the energy, getting into a different vibration and accepting that other energy. So these gifts, these opportunities are trying to come your way, but they can't if you don't have room, right? So, next thing, Venus is in Virgo now. So Venus, here's Venus. Here's Jupiter, by the way. Oops, sorry. I'm using another, sorry about that. So here's Jupiter. Here's you, Aqua. 12, 11, 10. So this is your 10th house. And here's Venus. So that's your 10th, 9th, 8th. That's a great spot for Venus to be in. That's a great spot for Venus to be in. So Venus is in Virgo. It's going to behave in a very Virgo way. What is the planet of Venus? It wants to bring you love, luck, and money. And this is other people's money, right? This other people's money is the 8th house. Also, the 8th house is about transformation. But other people's money, this is about death, rebirth, transformation. Really understanding the deepest aspects of life, deep emotions. You've had Venus in here, so you've probably been really trying to connect. it can have abrupt endings and beginnings, but with Venus in there, it wants to bring you love, luck, or money, right? And so, when Venus comes in there in your 8th house, it can be a time of great wealth. Like you can have something come through from other people's money, like a loan, a grant, an inheritance, something like that can come through. There's a death and rebirth, right? But because Venus is in there, Venus wants to bring this to you. Now, with you guys, it's opposing Neptune. And this is what's a little concerning because it's opposing Neptune, and Neptune's in your 2nd house. So the 2nd house for you guys is your finances. The 8th house is other people's money, your value, other people's money, other people's value, your money, your value, other people's money, other people's value, right? And so when Neptune is in there, Neptune can get you to see, like, remember, Neptune wants to take the boundaries off. Neptune wants you to see the best thing in everything, right? And Neptune can sort of makes you see things askewed, right? And because it's opposing Venus, Venus is over here with Virgo. Pisces is more of like Neptune, wants to sort of break down the boundaries, see only the beautiful things, not really ground it, but Virgo wants to ground it. And Venus wants to bring you love, luck, or money. So there's this opposition going on. So you may be trying to, like, I want to do this thing. I really want this money. I really want to get this loan, or I really want to make my company bigger, or I really want to do this, but that may be causing too much work, or I may have to listen to a boss, or da 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 da. Like you could be having this opposition. Like, do I really want to invest in that? Do I really want to do that? And that's kind of up to you. Everybody's different, but that could be going on. They're both trying to get you to the same place, but whenever something comes to you, because Neptune is here, your value system right now could be askewed because of Neptune. Your value system right now could be like, you're not seeing it clearly. Like you're only seeing the good part and you're not seeing the bad, the hard work that it's going to take, right? So whenever something comes to you and it's retrograde, so it's having you amend, adjust, really trying to figure this out. This is the value. This is the finances. So when something comes to you, if these offers come to you, if an opportunity comes to you, don't be so quick to throw it away. Don't be so quick to take it either. Like really take a step back, really look at it and say, okay, if I write it down, practically, how can I do this? And, how am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be able to do this? And do I want to do this, right? This is the thing. Like, if you're turning down a job because you don't really want that job, because you're thinking, well, if I get that job, then I'm going to have that job. Well, you're just thinking in the now. Like, think about, I don't always have to have that job. If I don't like that job, maybe I get another job. Maybe that job will lead to another job. Maybe that job, I'll do such a good job that it'll give me the practice for the next really great job that I'm going to have. It doesn't mean I have to stay there for 6 years or 5 years, or 3 years or 1 year. I'm in control, I'm creating, so I can sort of say when, right? So that's what I mean by taking a step back, looking at all the options, really being practical about it, okay? Now, that's what's going on right now. Now, we have these lunar eclipses and solar eclipse. So, lunar eclipse and solar eclipse, not S's. So we have these eclipses, a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse. So we had a partial solar eclipse on the 13th. So I think there was a misnomer about what that solar eclipse was going to do. For me, that solar eclipse told me that you were going to be getting an inclination or a clue about what's going to be going on for this full solar eclipse in August, right? So I'll give you an example. Maybe you got word on the 13th or since then about this job that you've been wanting. And maybe they say, hey, you're up for the job, we really like you, and we're going to hire you, right? And then, but you're not going to start training for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, right? And so then you start training, and then it's a 3-week training, and then all of a sudden in the solar eclipse, the full solar eclipse, that's when you actually get your paycheck. So that's when it actually comes to fruition. It actually comes about, okay? So that's sort of an example about what the partial solar eclipse was and what this full solar eclipse can be, okay? So What are eclipses? Well, eclipses have to do with your soul's journey, your higher self. It's a divinely guided thing on your path. So these karmic events can happen, and this is so that you can evolve. This is so that your soul and your light and your awareness can evolve, right? Now, on the 27th, we have this lunar eclipse, and this lunar eclipse is in your sign, Aqua. So in your sign at 4 degrees, this lunar eclipse is going to happen on the 27th. So what are lunar eclipses about? Lunar eclipses are something, so lunar eclipses are going to take something from you. It's going to teach us about detachment. It's going to teach us about letting go of what no longer serves us, right? And I know, Aqua, you think you know about detachment because you're the ruler of, you can detach your emotions from anything, right? But that doesn't mean that you know about detachment. That just means you know how to do it when you want to. It's not always in balance. And so maybe there's some things that you need to let go of that you haven't let go of. Maybe there's some things that you let go of too quickly that you didn't want to let go of, right? And so that's sort of what this lunar eclipse, it's on a karmic level because it has to do with, this lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse coming up is on a karmic level because it has to do with your south node. So your south node is here, your north node is here, and then the south node is opposite. So when we have this lunar eclipse on the 27th, we're going to have the south node conjunct and Mars conjunct, right? And so the lunar eclipse is about letting go of what no longer serves you. So with that can happen, something, you're going to let go of something or someone. You could end old karma because the south node is involved. This has to do with past lives. This has to do, if you don't believe in past lives, then younger, when you were younger, things that you've been carrying when you were younger. You can think about it that way. And so this is a chance for you to release old karma. This is a chance for you to release maybe several lifetimes you've done it one way, and you're so used to doing it one way, that way, that you brought it into this life and you're doing it this way and you're doing it again. And you don't really need to do it again because you already have finished that. But you're in such a habit of doing it again that you're doing it the hard way and you're making it harder for yourself. Well, this is the time that you can release that. You can release the old karma. You can release these contracts. You can say, I'm done, right? So in this lunar eclipse, it has to do with letting go. It has to do with ending old karma. It has to do with completing something, ending something. Something's going to be ended, right? But because of this, because we have Mars conjunct as well, this could come about through chaos, anger, and frustration, right? So it's not going to really necessarily feel good. But you're going to see clearly that it needs to be done, right? And this is for your path. So, that's happening on the 27th, and it's in your first house. So your first house is you. Your first house is your identity. Your first house is your physicalness here. Your first house is what you want to be, you came here to do, all of that, right? It's your physical self. So there's something in that you are going to be releasing, letting go. Now, with these eclipses, for the lunar eclipse, you can feel it up to 5-6 months. The solar eclipse, you can feel it up to a year. But you'll really feel it the first 4 months, both of them. You'll really feel them the first 4 months. Now, will some of you actually release somebody and something will be really crisis on the 27th? Yeah, maybe for some of you. Especially those of you that are born, at that 4th degree, at that 1st through 5th, through 9th even maybe. Like that could really happen. But others of you, it could be happening over the next 5 months, right? So everybody's different, but this is really, really an important time. I think this is the eclipse that we really needed to talk about, because this is the doozy. Now, on the 26th, sorry, I went to the 27th, but I meant to go to the 26th. So on the 26th, we have Mercury retrograde. So where is Mercury retrograding? That is in your 7th house. So before this lunar eclipse, which is opposing your north node, this north node's trying to get you your dreams. This north node's trying to get you your path, what you came here to do, those things that you want to experience, those life things that your desires are, right? And it's opposing that south node, right? And so there's something about when you let go, something's going to come through. And that's going to be happening in that solar eclipse. But Mercury is retrograde here. So Mercury is in your 7th house. So this is adjusting, amending, processing. Mercury is about processing. Mercury is about understanding. Mercury is the messenger. And Mercury is staying in Leo so that you can process this stuff out, right? And this is about relationships. Your 7th house has to do with your boundaries and relationships. Romantic relationship, business relationship, family relationship, money relationship, life relationship. Like, this has to do with all kinds of relationships, right? And there's some things that you're having to process. Maybe some people you're having to let go. Maybe you're some people that you're finally making the decision to let come in, right? And so Mercury's going to go retrograde. We've been in the shadow, so you're sort of seeing evidence of this. Maybe you're sort of processing stuff already. I know you've been a lot in your head. That's why I said, what y'all doing? I can feel you too much in your head. And so you're processing this, and you'll be doing this till August 19th, right? Okay, so then we have the 27th. We have the lunar eclipse. Then we have August. Sorry, my voice is really, really going. So, August 1st through the 15th. I really wanted to bring this out because this is going to be a doozy too. So all this stuff that you're letting go, all the stuff that you're trying to process, this relationship, these people, this belief of money, this understanding of who you are, this like letting go of what no longer serves you, right? Really, really processing it. The 1st through the 15th, we're going to have Mars square Uranus, right? So Mars square Uranus, however you want to say it. So Mars is squaring Uranus, and Uranus is this is your 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th house, right? And so what's your 4th house about? So your 4th house rules your happiness. Isn't that funny? Rules your fulfillment. Rules your security, your sense of security and comfort. It could rule your mother. It's where you come to the understanding of home is really where the heart is. It's where you understand that no one can make you happy but you. No one can love you the best way but you. When you want somebody there, it's because you want them there, not because you need them there, right? It's the place where you learn to be comfortable with you, right? And so, when Uranus is in there, Uranus likes to shock and awe. You know that, right? So, Uranus squaring this Mars being in your 12th house. Again, the 12th house is also endings, completion, past life, the connection between this life and others, the connection between your past life, your present life, your future life, right? And so, Mars squaring Uranus, they're trying to get you to the same place. They're both trying to lead. Uranus likes to come in shock and awe. Uranus will shift you so that it can liberate you. So when Uranus comes in there, when Uranus is in your 4th house, as it's squaring, you could get some news about changing your home. You could feel like, when am I ever going to root? When am I ever going to settle down anywhere? Excuse me, am I ever going to settle down anywhere? Oh my God, all of a sudden I got the hiccups. So you can feel very displaced, right? Like, when is this going to stop? I need to stop doing the same thing over and over. Blah, blah, blah. Like, even me. Going to Texas, moving back here, always traveling, right? Okay, so I'm telling you, me too. It's happening to me too. So I'm just using me as an example, but not everybody's like me. So with Uranus squaring Mars, from the 1st to the 15th, you could find changes in your home. You could find changes in the way that you want to settle down. You could find that you finally got clear of where you're going to settle, what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, right? And Mars is going to give you that energy. They're both squaring, so they're both trying to do the same thing. They're just doing it in a very different way. Mars wants to lead and Uranus wants to lead. Uranus is a bigger planet. He's probably going to shift it, but you're going to feel that tension. Should I really do this? I'm kind of scared to do this. What if this looks like really promising and then I do it and then it fails? What if I do this and it doesn't do? What if you're going to be doing that back and forth thing, right? That's going to be going on from the 1st to the 15th. I'm warning you, Aqua, because, again, you can get too much in your head and not take the action. Take the action. Trust yourself, trust the universe, Trust God, source oneness. Trust your angels. Trust your guides. Trust that you put in the work. Trust that they've got your back. Trust that just because you do one thing doesn't mean you have to stick to it. You can change it. Like, okay, if it doesn't work, maybe you were supposed to go to that to do the next thing, right? Whatever this is, if you don't change it, Uranus is coming to change it, okay? And you're going to feel the pull back and forth of that. I just wanted to make that very, very prominent for you. I just wanted to make you understand that. Now, also, Saturn is squaring Chiron, okay? So from the 1st to the 15th, you have Mars and Uranus square, and you have Chiron and Saturn square, okay? Again, 12th house, old karma, past life, present life, future life, working hard. Your dreams are very vivid. You're dreaming very, very vividly. Some of you are not remembering. Some of you are remembering. Some of you are thinking too much about it. You can always ask. When your 12th house is lit up, always ask before you're going to sleep, please help me remember. Please help me process. I have a question about this. Like, ask those questions and ask them to help you remember, because you're processing a lot in this 12th house, especially with Saturn in there. So Saturn squaring Chiron. If you haven't seen my Chiron video, I'll put it up at the end of this video. Anything I talk about, it's either in the link in the description box below or at the end of this video, right? Or in the icon eye. So Chiron has to do with old wounds, letting go of old wounds. This is your 3rd house. This is about communication. But not just about communication. This is about your siblings. This is about your neighbors. This can be about relatives, acquaintances, co-workers. This can be about documents, short travel, transportation. It can be about a lot of things. So Chiron is the wounded healer, right? So Chiron has to do with old wounds. And because it's in the 1st degree, you're still dealing with these old wounds that you're trying to process, let go, understand, right? And so, again, it's squaring Saturn. Saturn's making you really work hard. Saturn's in that 12th house processing. Saturn's really doing it right because Saturn's only going to do it one time. And so you could be like, all of a sudden, you get an epiphany about what you're supposed to do in this area. You get an epiphany about how this is supposed to come through. But you're going to have this, like, for you guys, I swear, I feel like from the 1st through the 15th, y'all are going to almost feel like you're going crazy because you're like, I get it, and then I don't. And why am I standing in my way, and why am I not? And what do I need to do? And how much more do I need to clear? And da-da-da-da-da. And the thing that you need to do is the thing that you're not doing. For all of you, for all of us. So whatever is not comfortable, whatever you're used to doing, you need to do it another way right now. You need to completely change that energy. Just completely change that energy. That's going to help you through this, okay? That's the best advice I can give for you right now. Okay, so that's August the 1st through the 15th. Then we have August 7th. Venus enters Libra. So Venus, planet of love, luck, and money. Venus is entering your 9th house. So the 9th house is about luck. So it's the planet of luck, and the 9th house is about luck. It's about blessings. It's about your belief system, right? It's about your quest for higher knowledge. And it's about teachers and gurus and mentors. And so when Venus goes into this house for the 30 days, it's going to bring you love, luck, money, blessings. Something's coming about because of your belief system. Remember, you're really working on this in your 2nd house. Understanding your value, understanding what you want, understanding what you don't want. Really, really processing this Chiron, this Uranus, Saturn in your 12th house, really processing. Then you have that lunar eclipse, really letting go, really understanding, right? I've said this before, I'll say it again. I know you guys have heard me say this, but for those of you that are brand new, in our unlimited self, right? In our higher self, in our whole self, we have unlimited energy that can run through us, right? We're whole beings, we can do that. But in this aspect, in this resonance, in this universe, on this earth, there is only so much energy that can run through us. And so, all those people that you keep thinking about and not letting go in your energetic world, I know what you do. All those past loves and past situations that you feel guilty about, and da 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 da, and you keep harboring and you put deep inside, and da 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 da. All of that, all those things that you're doing because you don't really want to do them, but you don't want to upset the other person, right? All that is energy. All that is energy that you have carried. And that, if you're carrying that and it no longer serves you, then you are keeping yourself from your abundance. You are keeping, there's only so much energy that can run through your energetic field. And you're holding it up with all this stuff. And this is what this lunar eclipse is about. This is why your 12th house is so lit up. It's about letting go, letting that energy go. And not just saying, okay, I'm letting it go through your head. You got to do it in your heart. And they don't want you to just say, I'm letting it go, I'm detached, and I'm letting it go. No, they want you to engage. They want you to feel it. They want you to remember. They want you to understand. And then when you understand and then can take the higher perspective, you can release it. Right? And understand, oh, I am no longer there. I am here, and I'm going to go there. Right? When you do that, you release it. When you release that, you have room in your energetic field for your abundance. That's what's going to be coming. Those dreams, those millions, those lovers, those relationships, those families, all those things that you're wanting. Until you have room, until you let go, it's only going to come in spurts. Understand? Okay. So, Venus in the 9th house. That's on the 7th. Then we have this big doozy. So, where the 27th of July, the lunar eclipse is about taking from you. The solar eclipse is about giving to you. The solar eclipse is going to be in Leo, in your opposite house, in your 7th house of relationships, of boundaries. We talked about the 7th house. So, the solar eclipse has to do with giving you something. And this is so that you can grow. This is supposed to be on your path. This is what you want to experience. So this is something to fulfill certain desires and experiences that you want on your path. This is what the solar eclipse is, right? Eclipses are about taking your energy, putting you back to 0 point energy where there is a lot of energy, right? And then eclipsing what no longer serves you, or in the solar eclipse, eclipsing, and wherever your focus and intention is and you have room for, it's going to catapult you there. It wants to give you things. It wants to give you new beginnings. It wants to give you the strong passion. It wants to transform you, right? And because the north node is there, it's going to feel uneasy because this is new, because this is not the way you've done it before, because you haven't mastered this yet. This is your north node, okay? Makes sense? You have Mercury retrograde, amending, redoing, trying to understand, trying to process, fix this, understand it. Makes sense? That's what this solar eclipse is about. And having to do with relationships. Relationships of your money. Relationships for you. Relationships with you. Your boundaries. Who you are. Who are the people that come in front of you. In this house, in the 7th house, when somebody comes in front of you, they're only mirroring you. So what is it that's in that person, or in that thought of money, or in that relationship, or in that family, or in a family member, or in that friend? What is it that you're trying to experience, understand about yourself? What is the boundary you're trying to put down? What are you trying to experience? What are you trying to understand? That's the 7th house. That's what's going to be happening in the solar eclipse for you. Make sense? So, then we go on to the 13th. Good luck, Aqua. Y'all just need to quit being so stubborn. Trust me, I know I'm stubborn too. So, on the 13th, Mars leaves your house and enters Capricorn. Again, that's your 12th house. This house is lit up. There's a lot of completions. There's a lot of endings. There's a lot of solitude that you're wanting. There's a lot of vivid dreaming. There's a lot of this going on right now. But the best way to just keep it running through, keep that energy running through, is to keep taking action. Don't overthink it. Take action. You can always adjust. You can always adjust. So what if you fail? Get up. So what if you stumble? Get up. So what? Get up, readjust. Do it another way. Get up, take a look, dust yourself off, keep going. Go in a different direction. Do it a different way, right? So what? Everybody fails. Failure is part of the mastery. If you don't fail, you didn't master it. Okay? So, Mars is moving into your 12th house. Mars is going to behave very differently in the 12th house than it did in your house in Aqua. It is methodical. It is focused. It is pinpointed. All this stuff that you've been going through, now that it's going into Capricorn, it is getting ready to go direct, and it is ready to be focused on what is actually happening. All these things that have been coming to the forefront for you, if you've been moving, if you've been ending relationships, if you've been ending and beginning relationships, if you keep letting go of somebody and bringing them back, if you keep having money and then not having money, like all these things, if these things have been coming up in the last 2 months, 3 months, this is net, and you've been really working on it. You've been really trying to process it. You've been really, like when Mars goes into Capricorn, really, really going to get pinpointed. And as it gets closer to Pluto, it's going to transform. It's going to transform you. It's going to be bringing you something. That's Pluto. Pluto wants to control, but it wants to control because it wants to see how much you're going to let it control. And then you determine. And then you get the manifestations once it transforms. Make sense? So, on the 19th, that's the 13th. On the 19th, Mercury goes direct. So all that processing, I can see where like in the solar eclipse, you may get something. And then when Mercury goes direct, you may get another thing. Like I can see that in your 7th house. Maybe you get a new relationship. Maybe you get a new contract. Maybe you get a new business partner. Maybe you get a new client. Maybe you get the biggest client. Maybe you get a bigger, I don't know, something that has to do with relationships. Maybe you get a bigger raise. Maybe you get a bigger project. Whatever this is, I can see that you're going to be getting something when Mercury goes direct. And then, as it goes direct, it's in Leo. I mean, Leo's the boss. Leo likes to shine. And the sun is in Leo. So there's going to be clarity. There's going to be something given. Something's going on. But through that retrograde, it's about processing. Processing, processing, processing. Right? Then on the 24th or 25th. So sometimes it's either the 24th or the 25th. Sometimes it's the 14th, 15th. It kind of depends on where you are in the world. Okay? So, 24th, the sun enters Virgo. Sun is entering Virgo in your 8th house. Again, Venus was in your 8th house. Maybe you got maybe you got the loan. Maybe you got an inheritance. Maybe you got, maybe you got word of that. Maybe they said, well, the loan's coming and da-da-da-da. Like, maybe you met somebody, but you're not sure if it's really going to pan out. Like, maybe you haven't talked to them since. So whatever happens, when the sun goes into Virgo, it's going to clarify this for you. It's going to align you for this, right? It's going to give this to you. It's going to give you some clarity about it. Like, maybe they're trying to give it to you and you're like, I don't know. They're trying to give me this money way too easy. But what you seem to forget is that you've worked so hard in the past that it's time for you to get easy money, right? But maybe the sun clears it up for you. Maybe they're like, no, this is for real. This is da-da-da. Like, that's the sun. When the sun goes into Virgo, that's what's going to happen for you guys. Other people's money, other people's resources, transformation. Transformation, as Mars gets close to here, transformation. This North Node moving in a new direction of your life path, of this thing that you wanted, of this thing that you're trying to experience, of this thing that you're trying to make physical. This South Node really helping you understand, really letting go, really ending those old contracts, ending that old karma. And then on the 26th. So on the 26th, you have the full moon in Pisces in your 2nd house. Now, because you've cleared, because you're very direct, because you're understanding, because you moved your energy, because you've taken the shot, because you took the action, didn't think too much, because Jupiter's in that 10th house and you're getting these accolades and things are going about, right? Because all of this is happening. You guys got a lot of things happening if you just let it happen. Nobody's keeping you from all this abundance but you. I'm telling you, nobody's doing it but you. Okay? So, you're doing all this processing. You're letting go. You've done all this. It's the end of August. You get this full moon in Pisces, right? This letting go. This final letting go. Well, it's not final, but this big letting go. This also, it doesn't just have to be about letting go, because if you've already processed letting go, if you've already done it with the lunar eclipse, if you've already done it with the Mercury retrograde, if you've already done this, then you're going to have room that you can turn your attention and manifest. Like a mug, you can manifest here. You got Pisces, Neptune, and the moon. They're all about manifestation, even if it's the full moon. The full moon, its attention can turn to manifestation if you have room and you've already let go. Okay? So, and this, my darling Aqua, is in your second house of finances. Okay? It's where you want it. It's where you like it. It's where things can come through. Okay? So, not just that, but you have this grand trine. See this grand trine? You guys know what grand trines are. Divinely guided gifts. I can see that we're in this full moon. You get something big. I can see this. For some of you, not for everybody. Because guess what? Not everybody's going to... Y'all hear me? But y'all don't... I want to say y'all hear me, but y'all don't listen. You hear me? But then you're just going to do what you're going to do. Right? And then you're like, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. I can't blah, blah, blah. Da, 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 da. All you got to do is take the steps I told you. It doesn't matter. Just move. Just take the action. Just say yes. Just do it. Right? If you do it, you have room, you get this grand trine. This grand trine is about a divinely guided gift being brought to you. It is an earth grand trine, which means it is something physical and it's something sustaining. And it can grow into something big. And if you have the room and your attention is turned to manifestation, with this and this grand trine, I mean, come on, Aqua. I'm telling you, nobody's holding you back but you. Nobody's holding you back but you. Get out of your way. Get out of your way. Get out of your way. Last but not least, we're going to end this on the 28th with Mars going direct. So, just more of this 12th house stuff, more of this completion, more of this getting closer to Neptune and starting to manifest and transform something. You're going to get very clear. I'm telling you, during this time, when you're laying down at night, if you have a question about something that you can't get clear about, ask the question as you're going to sleep. Ask your guides, ask Source, ask the universe, ask whoever you call upon, whoever you discuss things with, whoever you communicate with, whoever you feel, right? Just ask. Say, what is this? What is this about? I mean, ask your question. And keep asking your question as you're going to sleep. And ask for the answer. And ask to remember when you wake up. Because when you go to sleep, your ego becomes balanced, right? And so when it's balanced, they can get through easier. And you're not being so stubborn. And they can talk to you. Or you're actually listening. Okay? So that's why they can do this in the 12th house. That's why they can do this while you're sleeping. And they can do it really vividly when your 12th house is lit up. All right, my gorgeous ones. I love you, love you, love you. You know you have a special place in my heart. By the way, I did team up with Instant Go. That's an app on your phone, iPad, or Android. Instant Go, I'll have the link down below. If you have one question, if you want to know a certain aspect that you have, if you want like a daily thing, you can text me now, and I can text you right back the answer. I've done this because I'm trying to make it really easy for you guys, for those of you that just have one question, like maybe you have this burning question. So if you use the promo code INDIGO, then you get $5 off your first order. So my gorgeous ones, stay out of your way. I love you, love you, love you. Bye.